What's going on, guys? Dylan here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use the scanner in Java. The scanner is something that it reads the input that the user gives it. So it prompts you to type in something, and then when you press return, it'll read it into your code, and then you could use that input inside your code to do whatever you want. So first we have to start off by importing the scanner. So in the top of your class, above your class declaration right here, you want to do import java.util.scanner, and then remember to put a semicolon after that, and then this is just going to import the scanner so that we can use it. And then now we have to declare the scanner. So what we'll do is scanner, so this is the object type, and then we give it a name. So you could give this any name. I usually call it scan. It's the most simple. Some people just do sc, some people, I don't know. You could do whatever, but I do scan. And then you want to let the JVM know that you're making a new scanner. So this is a new instance of the scanner object. And then you do new scanner. And then inside these parentheses, we're going to do system.in. So it's letting it know that we're taking in the whatever is being put into the system. So now that we have the scanner declared, we can use the name of the scanner. So we'll do scan, and then we can add on different methods that the scanner has. So the first method that we can use with the scanner is scan.nextInt. And what this does is it reads in an integer value that the user is inputting, and then it'll store it to a value. So what is usually best thing to do is to set this scan.nextInt to an integer variable. So I'll go int, and then we gave it a name, input number, and then we set this equal to scan.nextInt. So whatever the user puts into the scanner right here will be set to this variable right here, input number. So we'll have that happen. So we could set up this integer, and then we'll print this out. And what this will do is this will print out that variable that we just set it to. Also, an easier way that you could do it, but for different occasions you want to do different methods of doing this. So pretty much you could also just go system.out.print scan.nextInt. And this won't assign it to any variable, but it'll just print out what the person is inputting. But for right now, we want to set this to a variable. And then let's run this. So right now, the scanner is actually asking for me to input something. And I know that it's supposed to be a number, but usually you want to print out something before saying, letting the user know what kind of data type they need to enter, so it doesn't give an error. So I'll put in like a 5, okay, and then I press enter, and then now as you see it prints out a 5. And as you can see, if I run this again and I put the wrong data type in, so I put like a decimal, so I do 5.5, it's going to give me an error. The same thing would happen if I put in like a false, or if I put in a string or something like that, it will give me an error because I can only put in an int because I said scan.nextInt. Now another method that the scanner has is scan.nextDouble. So let's first make a double variable. So we'll do double, and we'll just call this decimal. And then we'll do scan.nextDouble. So it works very similarly to the scan.nextInt, but pretty much it only takes in a decimal value. And now if I were to just put in a 5, it'd print out 5.0 because there was a decimal that it's a double that it's scanning. So let's say if I were to do 5.5, it would also just print out, oh, I didn't run it. 5.5, it'll print out 5.5 because it reads in decimals. So the next very useful one is scan.next. So if I were to put this, I'll just set this equal to a string. Or actually, I'll just show you just printing it straight out. So I'll just do scan.next. And what this does is it pretty much scans what the user puts in, but once the user makes a space, like presses the space bar, like let's say if I'm writing a sentence with like 3 different words, it's only going to print out that first word. Once I make the space bar, it cuts the scan, and that's what it prints out. So we'll test this out real quick. So I'll go hello, my name is Dylan. And all it will print out is hello, because after that space mark after the O, it will just cut the scan. And then if we were to do this whole entire line of code, what we'll change this to is scan.nextLine. This is the next method. So scan.nextLine will actually read in this whole entire line of code. And if I were to do hello, my name is Dylan, it actually prints out that whole entire statement. And usually what you would want to do is just set this to a string. So we'll do like string sentence. And we'll set that equal to scan.nextLine. And then we could delete the inside of this. And we'll just print out sentence. And that will do pretty much the same thing as what we just saw. But instead it'll actually set the scan.nextLine to the sentence variable. And last, we have the method scan.next, and then another method on top of that called char@. So this is pretty useful for scanning when you just want to get a certain value. So let's say a person puts in a whole sentence or they put in a whole word, and then but you only want to get a certain index value, just one character from that whole entire thing. So let's say I were to put in hello, and then I put this index to 3. Then according to the index in Java, in hello, H is 0, E is 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. That's the index for Java. So if I were to read in the third index, right here, it would be the second L that it would print out. So we could test this right now, and we'll go scan.next. We'll set this to a char. So we'll go char letter. You go scan char@3, and what will happen is when I actually scan, let me just get rid of this so it doesn't give me an error. So, and I need to do this real quick. And I forgot this. Okay, so now I'll type in hello, and it'll just print out the third letter, which is L. If I were to scan in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll print out 4, because that's the third index, because it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starts off at 0 from the first character. So those are all the main methods that you would be using for scanner. Scanner is very useful. You'll use it a lot when you're doing like a data entry type of coding. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be doing more Java tutorials in the future, so stay tuned for those, and peace out.